Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Listen to Your Heart Recap, Episode 6, the finale. As always, it is your boy, Dave Neal. This is a guy's review. Here's what I do. I'm sitting down today. I decided to sit down. Take some notes. I'll read them back to you. Recording this trusty recap on my Rodecaster Pro. Let's do it. Let's get right into it, okay? No edits. We just jump right into it. All right. We head to Nashville for the finale, the final 6, or so we think. By the way, I'm going to get really upset during this recap, but let me let you guys know. I'm going to get really upset. This is not the way I wanted it to go. I'm scorned. My fiance's mad. We were very upset on the couch. Do me a favor. Leave a comment below and let me know if the winner is who you wanted it to be. Let me know what you thought. Or sometimes some people just watch these recaps and don't even watch the show. You just want to hang out, and that's fine too. Leave a comment, like this video, and hit the subscribe button. I don't know if I'm going to recap this best of Bachelor season. I got nothing else to do. I got to tell you, this was a godsend. Being in quarantine here in Hollywood, California, having this show was really delightful with not much else going on. So I appreciate all the new subscribers that are out there. A lot of new people jumped on board. I appreciate all of the awesome musical acts that I got to listen to. I appreciate you sharing your craft with me, as it were. Now, here's my craft, making some stupid jokes. Let's get silly or slimy. Let's get into it. Someone got slimy in the fantasy suite. We're going to get into that. All right, so Matt does a plane photo crash. Boy, I kind of worded that wrong. It sounded like the plane crash. No, he photo bombed on the plane when Bri and Chris were in the front. Classic move, you know, that classic move. Someone's taking a photo on a plane, you got to pop up like a gopher right behind. It works better when you're strangers. It works much better when you're a stranger and you're just some random person forever in somebody's, you know, vacation photos. Jamie's clearly the booze bag. They get to Nashville and she's like, that's a bar and that's a bar I go to, and don't go back to that bar because the bartender does. You know when you're blacklisted at a bar for making out with the bartender? You know, that's what it's like being in your early 20s. I'm projecting a little bit. Give a guy a hand job at a, you know, Bar Louie. What can you do? Moving on. Yeah, she's just rattling off every bar name like she's on a Bachelorette pub crawl, which, by the way, I hear Nashville is just littered with Bachelorette parties. Just a bunch of, you know, penis straws running around with their sashes like they're, you know, queen of the Bachelorettes. You never see a Bachelor party out and about like you see a Bachelorette party. That's the difference. Bachelorette parties go out like ironically. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. But I feel like Bachelorette parties go out ironically like, yeah, bitches, we're getting wasted. Whereas Bachelor parties treat their Bachelor weekend like SEAL Team 6. It's precision. You know what I mean? You never get to see the footage. Everything's leaked. You don't talk about it after. That's how the guys do. Recon mode. You know what I mean? All right. That's got nothing to do with anything. But that's why we're here, isn't it? Okay, Chris Harrison lets everyone know that there will be fantasy suite options. And then Jamie goes from 0 to thirsty real fast. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, I do declare. Jamie got real slimy in the pants on that one. They're all staying at the Hermitage. Is it Hermitage or Hermitage Hotel? Trevor says it feels like the White House. Jamie's about the age of an intern, so you got that going for you there, bro. Maybe she'll get a position in his cabinet. Missionary. Moving along. Downvoted if you must. Big news. Found out Jamie and Trevor, oh, they're listening to something. Is it my podcast, this app? Could be. Found wherever you listen to podcasts. That's a shameless plug. You can watch it on the YouTube, too. We got some video episodes. Nothing. Yeah. Can you imagine if they were listening to my podcast in the fantasy suite? Nothing kills a mood like me ranting about my love language. Will somebody give me affection? Affirmations. Touch. Whatever love language you have, I'll take it. It's like a buffet. Rudi and Matt. Speaking of no love languages, Rudi and Matt have a heart-to-heart. Drinking diet root beer here. They have a heart-to-heart. I'm telling you what. I'm so scarred by Bachelor Nation and how formulaic it is in creating drama that I severely thought they were making up this drama. They're like, oh, you know, they're going to... And by the way, this has been awesome for me because this show isn't popular, I haven't been spoiled. It's not popular enough for anyone to care about the outcome, which has been amazing. So I was like, oh, come on, they like each other, just stick through it, blah, blah, blah. But Matt doesn't want to fake it. He doesn't want to fake it. And then Rudi says, we don't fake anything. 100%, right? They already had that stay at that California ghost hotel. Nothing was being faked there. But boy, man, Matt really must not like Rudi for him to not want to stick this one out. Like, my fiance's yelling at the TV. She's mad. She's like, signing a petition online. She's commenting on Rudi's Instagram. She's white girl mad. She's got white girl anger that Matt. But here's the deal, right? Ladies, isn't this what you want out of a guy, to be honest and tell you the truth and not lead you on? And I know what you're going to say. Well, he should have told her early on. Look, he wrote it out as long as he could, right? He wrote it out last episode where they stayed at the ghost hotel, or his boner disappeared. The ghost must have done that. No, he just wasn't that into you. Read the book. We've all been there. Women, take your honest guy. You know what I mean? You wanted him. Because what's going to happen is everyone's going to go hate on Matt. He had a little backbone, all right? Now, I wish he would have just wrote it out another day, pun intended, and, bang one out, play a couple songs. I mean, come on, they were going to sing Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? I could not believe they were leaving. Senseless, very upset. I am not happy. By the way, why don't we call up Ryan and Natasha? Get Ryan and Natasha. I got them on speed dial. Give them a call. Hey, we got a couple extra tickets to Nashville. Turns out we need you. Come on out. Just tell Natasha to sing the right verse this time. Boy's going to strum it. He's playing the guitar. He got 2 microphones in his hands. He doesn't he doesn't care. Jam out, buddy. Trevor and Jamie have the fantasy suite. Trevor says he's not stressed going into the finale. Yeah, you took out all your stress onto Jamie, okay? Took a load off of your chest onto hers. Moving on, folks. Now, don't get all, oh, you're slimy, you're gross. Come on, we're watching a 6-episode show about a couple of people trying to hit a couple, G-spot, G-chords. Moving on. But here's the thing. By the way, they get the fantasy suite in the 6th episode. When's the fantasy suite normally on Bachelor? It's usually like about 8 episodes in. But here's the deal. They're creatives. They're musicians. 6-episode fantasy suite. It's like, what took you so long? Normally, they'd be banging it out episode 1. You know what I mean? Playing a little drums, strumming on each other's 6-string. You know how it is. By the way, another mention, support all of these contestants, okay? Give them a like, give them a follow on Instagram. Rudi just released a Spotify song. Heart it, share it, give them the credit. Come on, Bachelor Nation's big, but this show isn't huge. I want to see you guys blow them up, all right? And I want to know, Ryan, are you with Natasha still? What's going on? Because I didn't think you guys had a thing, but the longer it sits with me, it's like a fine-aged brisket. You and Natasha, and I want to see you guys perform. Even if, and here's the thing that kills me, right? Even if there isn't sex happening, even if you're not like officially together, like take Rudi and Matt, the chemistry is so good on stage, or even Ryan and Natasha. Chemistry is so good and fun on stage. Why can't you have something that's not, or that's maybe platonic? You need Ryan, start a band called the Friend Zones and get everybody in there that got friend zoned. Come on. Bri prepares for her date with Chris by using the biggest makeup brush I've ever seen. Was that Harry Potter's wand? What was that thing? Holy crap. Sweeping foundation under her nose with that chimney charoo type of foundation, and then she's doing the eyes like she's got the Madison School of Beauty. I'm just making. Listen, I'm pulling at strings here. Bri, you're beautiful, and I love your makeup, but that is a giant makeup brush. How'd you get that through security? It's like a weapon. It's like you just got a couple bristles on the end of a baton or something. Do you twirl that thing around? Someone's got to play baseball. They're like, I forgot my bat. Oh, take Bri's. Okay, we didn't write these. We're just going to, this is irreverent, folks. This is episode 6. We're drinking root beer. We're getting irreverent. I know I told you this earlier, folks, but it really does help me out if you like and leave a comment. It lets the algorithm know, it lets YouTube know that, hey, we got a guy that we like over here. And I'll tell you what, I've doubled my subscribers this past year thanks to Bachelor Nation, and I appreciate that. But statistically, I see the stats, 85% of you people watching aren't subscribed. Do me a solid, hit the subscribe and become a slime ball. Like, let's get into it, all right? Bri basically tells Chris she's not putting out. She goes, I'm not in a rush. They got the fantasy card. Chris Harrison wrote the nice letter, and then she declines the fantasy suite, but says, she goes, you can't stop a good thing from happening. Well, let it happen over here. Come on. Let it happen on someone else's bill. There's nothing better than hotel room sex. Come on now. You can get dirty in a hotel room. You can be a little bit different. You can be a little more freaky. You know, like we can't get freaky in our studio apartment. My fiance will be like, "Oh, now the neighbors can see." You know, so, "Oh, you know, the neighbors down." There's always something, you know. But you're in a hotel room, you can start throwing lamps at each other. We got a security deposit with consent. Only throw a lamp with consent. Is anybody listening? What's going on? Okay, Chris had a yeah, and then Chris Bri's guy, not Chris Harrison, Bri's guy, had a great poker face when she's like, I don't want to do the fantasy suite today, and Chris goes, okay, that's fine, totally cool, and then he walks her to her hotel room. On the inside, he's like, damn, you know what I mean? We're gonna stroke one out anyway. Boy, that makes Trevor and Jamie look like a couple little sluts, doesn't it? I'm kidding. Come on. But it really is funny when one couple takes the fantasy suite and the others don't. They're just like, oh, well, sorry, we don't do that on national TV. Jamie's like, I already did it all around Nashville. Let me ask you this. Who eats the chocolate-covered strawberries in the fantasy suite if they don't take up the offer? You know what I mean? Because the Bachelor had to have the fantasy suite all set up for Bri and Chris, but then they don't take the offer, and I'm just guessing there's beautiful donuts and everything. Do the maids get to eat that the next morning? Are they cleaning the room and they're just like dipping into, you know, they're like spanking each other? Okay, moving on. Trevor's got hotel robe energy. You see Trevor and Jamie afterwards in their hotel robes. You can't help but feel like Scarface when you're in a hotel robe eating a couple donuts. Boy, and not to mention, I just went on a nice diet. I'm doing a 14-day ab workout challenge. I'm doing that viral ab workout challenge. And then there they are showing me all the pancakes. I'm on a carb, giving up carbs. I had a salad for dinner. It's disgusting. By the way, subscribe to the, if you want to see me shirtless, which you don't, but hopefully after 14 days, I'll look a little bit better. I'm getting pudgy at the age of 35, folks. You know, you lose 8 pounds, you gain 7, it goes back and forth. Okay, Trevor says Trevor talks about the experience here. I feel drunk or high, and I'm really not. I don't know what this is. I think I'm just going to miss you guys. Quarantine's still happening. I got nowhere to go, and the show's over. All right, stay in touch. Follow my ab vlog. Trevor says he walked in. Not my cup of tea. We had a lot of inside jokes this year, folks. Trevor says he walked into this show as a stranger with Jamie. He said we were strangers. But then he said now he gets to finish with a best friend on stage. You didn't finish last night at Fantasy Suite? That's a long way to go for a finish joke. Finish the country? No. Okay, wow. No edits. Going to leave them all in. Some of these are good, some aren't. What can you do? This is free for you. You just watch the ads so I can build a couple extra bucks in the old algorithm. Bri and Chris have an epic rehearsal. Band leader trying so hard to get their connection, I want to say like expressed bigger. You know what I mean? It's the same thing I've been saying all year. They've got this connection. Look, Bri and Chris need to go into the desert and like drop acid or eat some shrooms or take an improv class or just start like they just need to get bigger because we know they've got that connection. But look, this is show business, baby. This is show business. You need to get big, become a thick boy. You got to get big out there. We see it. We see it in the close-up shot. They're strong energy together. But, Daddy's going to need you guys to really come at it. So we get into the performances, and we know beforehand what's going to happen. Jamie's going to bounce around and be very campy. She's going to hold Trevor's face. And look, again, I've been kind of like messing with her. Look, she's 21, right? She's young. Trevor and Jamie, they're kind of like High School Musical, which is weird to say because he's very much a grown man. But she's very young, and I think that bubbliness doesn't really, I don't know, it just doesn't really translate to me. And it's like, I don't expect them to have choreography, but it's interesting. It's interesting, like, the dynamic. I mean, I hate to say it, but, like, just, if there was an award for people who knocked it out of the park on stage, Natasha and Ryan. You know what I mean? Jamie and Trevor, they're kind of going, they got, like, church camp vibe. You know what I mean? Moving on. So we get to the performances. The true star shows up. The main man himself, Chris Harrison. He's got New Year's Eve energy. He's got that big Dick Clark energy, right? Luckily for Trevor, his balls already dropped the night before on Jamie's chin. So, get to the judges. Kaitlyn and Jason Kaitlyn and Jason. Of course, Kaitlyn and her husband, her fiance, had broken up last year, which was a big deal. He started a gym, and they didn't make it work. It just couldn't work out for him. And then Kaitlyn all of a sudden slides into Jason's DMs, or Jason slides into hers. Who knows how it works? But now we've got a Canadian and a guy from Buffalo, New York. So that's the coldest couple you could. But I really do like them. I mean, we really do. He was great. They're good. They're good people. Tay Diggs shows up. He's looking good. We got Jewel. She's there. And Rita Wilson, pre-COVID. We got Rita Wilson pre-COVID. By the way, Google Rita Wilson raps if you haven't already. She can spit a bar. Kidding me? Is this all I have? I got a little bit more. Anyway, so they're all doing their thing. We got Trevor and Jamie. Like I said, they're gonna be campy. They did their thing. They did their thing. It was good, but I didn't get goosebumps at all, which is fine, But I can't tell you what gives me the goosebumps, but it just didn't happen. And of course, we're just seething, and it's not Trevor and Jamie's fault, but we're there seething angry because we want Rudi. We want to hear her sing Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? By the way, she's on Spotify today. Go listen to her new song. Give it a heart. And don't hate on Matt. He was speaking his truth. We love on Bachelor Nation to speak our truth. Oh, boy, did you notice this? Big conspiracy happened. Did you notice the drummer stole Bri's makeup brush? Did you pick up on that? This is what I do. Love it or hate it. But probably try to love it because that's genius. It's funny. The drummer stole her. You know what I mean? Okay. Jamie's vocals were really busting out, if you know what I mean. Her vocals were busting at the seams. She was singing from the chest. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Kaitlyn Bristowe, Kaitlyn B, KB. She asks if they got the fantasy suite, and then everyone's like, oh, they already did. And then everyone's like, oh, shoot, they be banging. You know what I mean? And then Jamie goes, hey, my dad's watching. And then I'm like, what, did he not watch earlier this same episode when you're just hogging down donuts with that big, terry cloth energy, with that big old grin, like you just got some of Trevor's, acoustic sessions, if you know what I'm talking about. And then she goes, hey, my dad's watching. And then Kaitlyn goes, they get over it. And I'm thinking, no, Kaitlyn, you're from Canada. Your dad gets over it. You don't get a chick from Tennessee. Her dad's not getting over this. You know what I mean? He's got to go work at the steel mill tomorrow. And everyone's like, oh, I saw your daughter get pounded out on you know what I mean? And I know what everyone's thinking, well, it's brave of her. It's not about her dad. I understand. But he still has to deal with it. Somebody's going to be playing him in golf. He's going to be on his backswing, ready to take a shot, and someone's going to go, so tell me about... Oh, boy. I'll have daughters. I'll send them out to audition. I'm sure Chris Harrison will still look the same age. It'll be fine. Nick Viall will still be trying to date one of them. Random reference. All right, home stretch. Bri and Chris. All right, what do you want from me? Bri and Chris, right? 6 times during their first song, I got goosebumps. That's a multiple. I got goosebumps. Tasha got goosebumps. We were covered in goosebumps. What does that mean? Are we projecting, or is there just some sort of unknown energy that's happening where we go, they got it. They got it. And they did. They nailed it. They nailed it on the first song. And after the first song, I wrote down, I go, won it on the first song. I wrote down, won it on the first song. Now, would they have won it over Rudi and Matt? Not on vocals. They wouldn't have won it on vocals, but clearly they are the most in love. That's what this competition is here to find. So, Chris and Bri win. No surprises. Jamie's already ordering an Uber. The second they sang that first song, Jamie's got she's ordering an Uber pool. She's like, I can't afford an Uber. My dad already cut me off on the family plan. He's already cut me off, so I got to take an Uber pool home. She's going to just walk down to one of the bars and try to get a shot. Chris and Bri win. Boy, by the way, can they redeem their fantasy suite after they win? You know what I mean? Can they just go in and they'd be like, sorry, Chris, we're going to take this for a couple nights. I loved the little after the show credits where they showed them in the recording studio. Yeah, show us more of that. Show us more of them recording and all that jazz. I'd love to see it. Guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of my recaps or the season or whatever. And like I said, I appreciate those of you that have jumped over to my other content so much. If you like any of this content, it's really just a joke writing. This is all just a joke writing exercise for me as a stand-up comedian and vlogger and all that jazz. This is just a chance for me to speak into the microphone and shoot the you-know-what with you guys. And I appreciate you guys being along for the journey. So thank you so much to everyone who's been commenting on the other videos, passing them along. It's been a fun journey. I've done this for a long time now. It really has. I've done it for like 5 or 6 years. It adds up. And this year we saw more growth than ever, so I appreciate that so much. And what else can I tell you? If you can't get enough content, go to the SAP. That's the podcast. We do episodes weekly. And yeah, again, it's been a good season. I don't know if I'm going to recap this best of season. Let me know if you want that. I'll tell you what, leave it, like, subscribe, and if I get a good boost in subscribers, maybe I'll recap that. But I might just have to wait till the first episode and see if it's even anything I can recap. I can't shine up dog turds out there. Sometimes these things are so highly edited that there's nothing to recap at all. But if it's a chance for me to shoot the breeze with you guys, then I'll take advantage of that any day of the week. So thanks again. You've been amazing, and we'll see you out there next time. Be safe, wear your masks, and enjoy your own life is a fantasy suite. Enjoy it.